Hello. Let's just let's jump straight into the stream. Oh my god, it's right in my face. Here we go. Hey Eddie and Shane of Buster and BMX. How are things? Hopefully, this stream won't be too mental. I'm only going to go until 7, by the way. 7 Irish time, so it's going to be, what, an hour and a half-ish? What, everyone's panicking, Dave's farming? Because there's no point in panicking. No, I don't need to panic by toilet roll. Hey, Massey. Americans think like coronavirus will kill us all. Not all, just some. Although the way American healthcare works, without getting too political, a bit more over there maybe. Who am I calling lazy? You! I say that, I have to spray all of the fields for weeds. The shops are crazy. Yeah, my mother went down to get a pizza for me today because she's off on a little holiday tomorrow. 12 days. Oh, I don't own this field. What am I doing in this field? No, I don't own this one. I own this one over here, though. Today was pretty mental. Tread slowly, it's going to spread a hell of a lot faster than people think. If schools and major events stay on. There's a bit of arrogance going on at the moment, and it's dangerous. Little Tesco's now, they are very empty very quickly. Yeah. My mother went downtown because my parents are going on holiday to Prague tomorrow. Maybe. Depending on whether or not the country's still open. Yeah, they're supposed to be going off tomorrow at least. I don't know if they're going to cancel or not yet. But, yeah, she went downtown to get me a pizza for, like, over the weekend. And the queues were hilarious. No, they're not. Well, Czech Republic hasn't closed to Ireland yet. Hey, Blackout. That music is boring. Yeah, I've been on this map for like a week and a half. Using Tesco at the door. Would they risk getting stuck there? I mean, yeah. They would, because that's not gonna happen. Even if it does, it's not as big of a deal as people seem to, as some people maybe think. There's a lot of panic that is unwarranted. Some of it is warranted. The concern is warranted. Panic, not so much. Like, I'm watching everything eagerly and with a healthy level of concern, I would say. Yeah, I'm doing my best to not go into crowded areas and, you know, be cautious about that kind of stuff and do the responsible stuff. But, it's all any one person can do. Hey, Jim Bob. 2 cases were confirmed 5 minutes away from you. Yeah, look. Should be Grinch. Concern, but not panic. medical systems, as long as people don't do insanely stupid stuff, should hold up. Insanely stupid stuff including going to a horse racing festival in the middle of a pandemic. Or holding a Formula 1 race in the middle of a pandemic. Or holding a major wrestling show in the middle of a pandemic. Not that I'm calling out any sports at all there. Just, noting things. Moms and dads having to suffer with kids at home. Sounds like OT. Yeah, for those of you who are Irish and now don't have school for the foreseeable future, because that March 29th date is very, very portable. They can and will extend it if needed. I have taken the liberty of setting up some study groups in the Discord. It's probably useful for anybody doing exams in general. So if you need help with any subjects that are there, let me know. If you need help with any subjects in those rooms, hop into them and ask your questions, and people will get to you or stuff like that. I'll primarily be helping out in the science room because that's kind of what I know. Not too good with. I don't know any French. I know a bit of German, so I could help there. Me help a school? Buster, you realise I've literally got a science degree. Ich habe ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich bin, mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Ich habe ein bisschen. First YouTuber you've ever seen doing that? See, I'm looking at things from a responsibility point of view, where it's like, schools could be closed for a while. So I feel it's on me as somebody with, granted, a small community, but a community nonetheless, to try and help as many people as I can. And the best way I can do that is to set up study rooms in the Discord so that people can help each other, and hopefully I'll be able to help with some specific stuff. Do I own this field? I'm thinking maybe I don't, because nothing's happening. Or the field's too grown already. I'm guessing the field's too grown already. Okay, next field, please. So you think it'll be handy for some people? Yeah, it might not be handy for everybody, but it'll be handy for some people, and it might get some people higher marks on exams and whatnot, and that's the important thing, really, in the way the world works. Oh, this is tram lines! Ah, that's kind of cool. These in the history. Yeah, I mean, if you're good at a subject, join the Discord and help out in the room for that subject. If you're... And I'm just giving an example here. If you're native German speaker, you can help in the German room. Native French speaker, you can help in the French room for sure. If you're good at languages in general, or just general knowledge for schools, you can have that there. 5-6 weeks minimum. I would imagine that's not a bad guesstimate to begin with. You're in the Discord, sweet. Yeah, I'm doing what I see as my duty. I know some YouTubers are just looking for the money. I'm like, this is... Sure, the money is vaguely important to me, but... If I can help with stuff, then I'll help with stuff. That's the way I see YouTube, is like, it's for me, a glorified hobby, where I make some money, it's all the money I make, and with the way things are at the moment, I've kind of stopped applying for jobs, because I don't think interviews will be happening in the current climate. So I probably should actually apply for more jobs today, this evening, now that I got the Discord rejigged. I have also taken the liberty of giving the mods and MP admins the some details to log into the NP server on the browser side to try and get that working again for the weekend. Because I want to try and focus a bit more on the science video in the coming days. So streams might be shortened, or tomorrow's stream might be shortened as well, I should say. If you were locked down, you wouldn't survive. Yeah, wait to see a new channel. Yeah, I need to. It's becoming more of a need than I want. I need to focus on that very soon. So you might see some streams getting just straight up cancelled with zero warning as I try and push to get that done. First video done. About 2/3 of the way through the script. And then I need to work on making animations and stuff, so that's the period where it's all gonna go chaotic. But yeah, there might be some streams where I just say, you know, I'm on a roll on a certain day and I just say no stream today. Could be tomorrow for all I know, where I do that. But it's probably important for me to get educational stuff on the go and get into the role of doing that a bit more. And figure that out more forward. School's good for you. School is, unless there's like a major epidemic, then it's the worst place you could be, or one of them. Is it hard to hear me over Combine? It might be. Give me a moment and I will fix that. Allow me to do a fix. Volume mixer for some near. There we go. Instant's louder than usual. Except it's not. That's the funny thing. I have turned it down now, so that might fix things. It could. Oh, it could be the mic's further away than usual. Hang on. That felt like it moved more than it should have. It was a great review I did. I got mixed reports from that review. It was kind of some people thought it was great, some people thought it was terrible. The format that I did. I probably should have looked at the fact sheets in hindsight, but with everything going on and the fact that I've been working my butt off on you know, the science video, which is a major project for me, it's difficult. I said the science video, the science channel as a whole, but it's one video so far, and I've been putting all my focus into that. And, you know, it's difficult to break from that and just do some, you know, look at Farm Sim for 5 minutes and go, okay, now on to something else. Now back to work I go. Hey RT, how's it going? It's going okay. I've got a headache today for all of the wrong reasons, I guess. Tells you it's incorrect. Itch. Oh, try admin. Try the name with a capital A. It might be case sensitive. Actually, I can say the name is admins. It's the password people don't know. It's admins with a capital A and then the normal admin password. And I tested it and it did work. So unless it's broken since, it should work. Hey DMF, how's it going, dude? Irish Gaming, hello. Case sensitive, yeah, capital A then. That's fine. Am I getting a new channel? Yeah, I'm setting one up. Or, well, I've set one up. I'm working on a video for it. And the videos are going to be much more detailed and serious than anything that's been on this channel, really, apart from the one video I did about copyright when I was busy winning an argument. But, yeah, it's going to be a serious channel, because it's science, and that's kind of my passion, so Some people are probably going to find it boring, which is fine. I haven't... You know, I'm learning as I go with it. Nobody else on YouTube is doing what I'm planning on doing, so there's no position for me. Yeah, I'm starting from zero on trying to figure out how on earth to do it. So that's like when you're doing something that hasn't been on YouTube before, it's either a really good idea or a really terrible one. Because I'm not using Rainbow Dave branding on that channel. That channel will have completely different branding. Moonball's not coming back. Blackout. With the way things have gone with YouTube, that's just not viable anymore. Different topics. Yeah, I know of one guy that does it for, well, a few people that do it for law, so it's going to be interesting to see if that format will, well, that type of video in a different format, because I've got a format in mind, will work for science. I have legitimately no idea, so it's going to be really fun to learn what happens there. And I already do have an idea for like another couple of videos I could do with it. Similar topics, but different things to do with it. But again, I'm learning as I go along, so the format could change a lot throughout the first several videos. Modern Classics is in testing. Ah, interesting. Where's the trailer? Do I have a trailer? Is there a trailer? Tell me about a trailer. Tell me a story about trailers. Where did I put... Do I have a trailer? Oh, look, it's... Okay, it's there. Hey, Alex. I do a scientific video on viruses so some people can get informed on them. That is one that I'm planning. Although I will be doing very, very, very highly focused videos. Gonna be experiments? No. Not possible with the budget I'm working with. Which is effectively zero. More laid back, Dave. I mean, to be honest, I've stopped caring as much about this channel, so it's a lot more laid back here too. I know that I don't swear on this channel, but it's I'm still just like, hey, let's do some farming. Don't need to get your Bunsen burner out. No. No. I'm doing it off a zero budget, so it could get... It's difficult. Although I have found some good free video and photo editing software that I need to download and have a look at. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work out. Waiting for an Ingen farm video. I haven't told the admins this yet, actually. Yanis, SG, Carturks, if you're still here, and SG, what do you think about putting Aussie's map on the server? And swapping out basically all the mods again. Because I don't trust the map and mod pairings now. A lot less controversy over this decision, because there was a bit of argument going on about the map for a while. I did say you, I did say Alex. Because you never really understood. Well, the aim is to try and explain it in as plain English as possible. Even though I'll be covering very advanced concepts. I said SG twice. I swear I said it. How long am I staying live for? Until about 7 o'clock, dearness. So it's a bit of a shorter stream than I usually do, but there's a lot going on at the moment. A hell of a lot, both like in the news, which I want to keep track of, and like personally, I'm trying to do a lot. I said SG twice. I swear I said Alex. Do I agree school should shut? I think all mass gatherings should be cancelled. Did enjoy the space bit behind science. So you prefer you like kind of astrophysics, astrodynamics, that kind of stuff? That's not what I like. I do like that. That's not what I know. I am not a physicist. I am most knowledgeable about microbiology, molecular biology, and I guess a small bit of virology because it's very related to microbiology and molecular biology. Two concerts been postponed. The Avril Lavigne tour has been postponed as well. And I know many a true nerd, as a YouTuber I watch, is very angry because he's a big Avril Lavigne fan. The tickets are on sale this morning. The cancellation probably came pretty late. I mean, Flybe were still selling tickets the day they went bust. It was only a few hours before the airline collapsed entirely that they stopped selling tickets. They were hoping upon hope that they wouldn't collapse. You want to watch some Large Hadron Collider videos? That's particle physics, which is, I do not understand that. And what's more, it's not only particle physics, but it's quantum physics, which maybe 6 people in the world actually understand. Like, if you don't understand quantum physics, you're in the majority, because quantum physics are weird. Where stuff can simultaneously exist, not exist, and be in 3 places at once. And be in 2 different forms. Like, here's an example. Light. Visible light is all quantum physics. Because it simultaneously exists and doesn't. Because it is both a particle and a wave. Which technically isn't possible, but hey, light decided it's gonna be both. And it changes its form depending on how you want to measure it. If you want to measure it as a wave, it becomes a particle. If you want to measure it as a particle, it becomes a wave. Aiden, did you send him the link to the tracker map that had the massive argument with idiots on it this morning? Because that made me angry and gave me a headache. Which granted is easy, but when people get a lot wrong. When people are that wrong about science, it's a hell of a lot easier than usual. That really grinds me gears. So it makes about as much sense as Star Trek. Star Trek makes sense. Quantum physics it is just some weird fever dream of science. Hey Chad. What were they wrong about now? Somebody was on a Vatsin thing this morning being wrong about science. And I refuse to accept people who do that. Excuse me, could you maybe want to... Can we point out 747 made it from UK to the States? It was actually the other way, Blackout. It came to the UK from the States. Because of storm... One of the storms. Can't remember which one it was. But it had a tailwind the entire way. You like farming videos? Thank you for farming. Thank you, Chad. Also, hello. My patience does tend to go Storm C. Kira. It was Kira then if it was C. I almost said Chelsea. Storm Chelsea. I don't think it's C in GCSE physics. Fun fact, I didn't do very well in... well, I used to really enjoy physics, but I never did really well in it. In school. I've improved a lot since I went to school with physics and science in general, because I've got more interested in it, so I can, you know, I spend a bit more time looking through stuff and reading and researching and learning, which is part of the reason I get very angry with people when they get science hideously wrong based on misinformation they managed to get from less than reliable sources, shall we say. Things are a bit surreal. Yeah. I mean, I'm approaching everything to do with the virus from kind of a different mindset to most of you guys, because most of you guys are like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just like, ooh, we're entering this phase of things, and ooh, this country has gone like this, but this one who did it had a slightly different response to this. Ooh, very interesting science is happening on a global scale. You mean Twitter's not peer-reviewed? Neither are newspapers, believe it or not. What's the annoyance of every scientist in the world who have to point out that half of the... if you eat this wonder food, you will cure cancer in 6 days. It worked in mice. Maybe. Level 339. He's at 340. It's just that it's a 100-foot difference. Coronavirus is alien science experiment confirmed. I mean, the response is effectively one giant science experiment to figure out what the correct response is. But nobody knows. Nobody knows. So everybody's just kind of guessing. And the scientists are like, well, this is what we think might happen if we do this. Maybe. It's kind of cool from like a general public perspective, because you get to see science in action, like on a huge scale. But from my perspective, where I've done a bit of epidemiology for my degree, it's like, oh my god, this is so cool watching this all play out. And judging the different responses, and I mean, like, as soon as the response is announced, I'm just like, nah, it's not going to work. Like, the British response currently is not going to work. That's... no. Irish response? Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Could do more. Could go further, but it's a solid 8. Solid response to what's going on here at the moment. And a really good time, too. Odds are actual infections in Ireland are probably less than 500 still. Better than America, but I mean, America's definitely got a response. I don't know if flail uselessly and then whimper, please wash hands is really all that much of a response. So, you know, it's that's kind of how I'd rate the American response so far, is flail and then whimper, please wash hands. Yeah, these schools closing and going online only are a really good response, really strong response. Wash hands while singing happy birthday. I mean, there's all of the different memes, but those memes are super useful for knowing what 20 seconds is. Like, I've seen one that's sing Judas by Fozzy, and once you finish the second round of I'm Becoming after the chorus, after the main chorus, after the first chorus, I should say, then you have to wash your hands for 20 seconds. Travel to and from Italy now than that earlier. Should have. 100%. Italy should have been locked down very, very early. The Italian response was atrocious. Italy should have locked down their airports. The virus affected my noodle supply. I mean, it has, but there's tons of food in the kitchen anyway. Yeah, Alex, please. I don't trust the map mod combination, so you can like remove all of the mods as well. And I'll download them from the server after the stream or whenever. You guys can arrange all that in the admin chat, because it took me like 3 hours the other day to get everything arranged by myself, and I don't want to do it again like 2 weeks later, which is why I just set up an admin's account on the server. But at the same time, don't go faffing about and changing every mod every week, please. Gosh, yours for 2 minutes on hot water. 20 seconds is recommended with soap. And the reason that it's with soap specifically is because the soap will break down the fatty envelope that surrounds the virus, causing it to effectively, quote-unquote, die. It's a bit more complicated than that, because there's a big debate in science as to whether or not viruses are actually living beings or just protein, you know, a mashup of proteins and fatty acids and nucleic acids. But yeah, the like one of the more important things you can do yourself to keep safe is two of them. 1, avoid crowded areas. 2, wash your damn hands with soap. 3, if you're feeling particularly saucy and worried and you have some available because everybody panic bought again, use alcohol-based hand washes that are greater than 60% alcohol concentration. And like, that's your maximum way of avoiding it. It's not 100% it's not going to be 100% successful ever, but it's the way to maximize or minimize your chance of getting it. Number 2 should be wipe down your phone regularly. I mean, that too. Drink whiskey. Whiskey is only about 40%. It would not be effective. $151 proof whiskey. 151 proof, yes, actually. I think 151 proof is good. Vodka, again, is usually 40%. And rum. Most commercially available alcohols are 40%. Once it's over 60, it is antibacterial and antiviral. Most of us will speak... Yeah, like, straight up, if you get the virus and you're under 40... Hey, Loke. Have I looked at Ozzy's new map? No, I have not, but I need to. It's going to go on the server. I've asked the admins to throw it on the server during this stream. I was just about to get to that, Buster. The fatality numbers are wrong, but there's multiple reasons why. It's down to how it's being counted. I don't think there's... Well, there's cases not being counted because people aren't getting tested. The actual infection numbers anywhere are much, much, much higher than the confirmed infection numbers. So there's always going to be cases where people aren't counted as having the disease because they don't know they have it. Because it's so mild, they just think they've got a cold. A long time since you've been in the stream, now there's some time. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to find a lot of time suddenly the next few weeks for some reason. Number of confirmed is still under the average day worldwide. Yeah, 840. So the situation is that the current theory is that there's actually much more people that have it than we think, which is fine, because the people that have it and we don't know about, well, it's not fine. The people who have it and we don't know about it, it's mild, so they're potentially passing it on to people. But the fact that we don't know about a lot of cases, and they reckon it's the vast majority. Yes, Alex, that one, please. The fact that we don't know about the majority of cases, and by the majority, I mean the numbers that are coming out are maybe you need to multiply it by 20 to turn official confirmed cases into actual cases. So the UK has an estimated 10 to 15,000 people with coronavirus right now. But only 500 are confirmed. Just as an example there. And because we don't know about probably the vast majority of infections, that artificially increases the numbers for the fatality rate. Closed all events with 100 people or more. Ireland's done the same. Anything indoors with more than 100 people, cancelled. Anything outdoors with more than 500 is cancelled. Right decision to make. It's good risk management. He's counting you as multiple people. Are you and all of your multiple personalities going to let that stand? It drives the mortality rate way down. It's approximately, like, depending on response, anywhere between 0.2 and 6%. And even then, it depends on how it's being counted. But the big issue is that all of the confirmed infections are coming at once. Like, it's not just sheer numbers of people being infected with coronavirus and how serious it is that are the problem. It's the fact that all the infections are coming at once. If you compare to like the flu, which is what a lot of people want to compare it to because they see it as a cough and whatnot, that's fine. The flu is spread out over flu season. You don't end up with, 15,000 people having a flu in 2 weeks, like in Italy, and of those 15,000, probably 10,000 will need hospital treatment. Down on the high spec. Ooh, 4D. I meant to ask you. I was going to send you a message on Facebook later. Could you be the best modder in the world ever and put the manure mod onto the Abbeys? Or is that in the planning already? Because that manure mod looks sweet, and I had to look at it on mods last night, and it gave me a headache. Adding it sweet, best modder ever. I have such high standards. It's almost done, even better. Yeah, Alex, just wipe the mods off the server. Because like they're all Polish meme mods for the most part. So you can put big on. I have such wonderful standards for modders. It's like, hey, these two mods I like, can they go together, please? Screw everything else. I want these two mods to work together because they're awesome. I also at some point need to learn the manure pack for the slurry mod. That's probably going to be tomorrow, where I'm going to have like a random bonus slurry spreader because I don't want to sell the Abbey. Actually, I want to upgrade to the 3500 Abbey. I'm not, disclaimer, Buster. I'm not a professional. I'm not a healthcare professional. I just have a degree in biomedical science, and I've done some research. COVID's serious. You should be concerned. You shouldn't panic. Like, you should take preventative measures. A lot of the governments are saying you should take preventative measures. Avoid large crowds. Wash your hands regularly. Don't do face touching as much. I don't believe it is our end because it released like the day before the hose mod. Unfortunately. Yeah, no panic if you're a shut-in gamer. And Blackout, the reason that some geos have like stuff being plantable at weird times is because more concerned than flu, less concerned than Ebola. We'll put it on a scale from like common cold to Ebola, and it's somewhere around here. Like more concerned than flu, less concerned than Ebola. Like, if you have it, odds are it's going to be a slightly worse version of it. And you'll have a cough and what feels like a chest infection. Really less concerned than Ebola. Much less concerned than Ebola. I'm sorry, but I had to make a joke somewhere, and I figured throwing Ebola in was... it's me. I'm not gonna avoid a joke when I figure one out. And, Ebola's got to fit out at about 50%. So also, I do tend to work in dark humor when stuff goes wrong, so... As this gets more and more concerning... As this gets more concerning, expect my humor to get darker. You can judge how how concerned I am by how dangerous my jokes are and how likely it is streams will get demonetized. I did see scientists making jokes as funny as them, scared as the rest. This is actually true, Yanis, yes. Science jokes tend to scare people because... especially when it's... just realised, especially when it's people who know about, like, viral infection rates and stuff. It's like, funny joke. Is Science Man telling the truth here? Right, back to the harvester we go. Why did I turn it off? The problem with the virus is that the thing I will say is, don't be concerned about yourself with the virus. Be concerned about somebody you know who's old, or somebody you know who has an immune condition or a lung condition. They're the people that have the highest risk factors. You seen unused toilet paper going for $5? Wonder how much used go for? Oh my god. ATC have some of the worst humor. Good God. Everybody remembers Kennedy. Was it Kennedy? Kennedy Steve, if memory recalls. Every pushback, where would you like us to face? The front, ideally. The passengers get scared if you're facing them. Good grief. Some of his jokes were terrible. But, totally worth checking out if you want to see ATC just derping. Kennedy Steve, best ATC. Imagine, like, a comedian, but with a very serious job. That was Kennedy Steve. It is a shame he retired. Imagine if he took up as a hobby VATSIM in his retirement and did like Kennedy Tower. Just only ever controlled Kennedy. It would be the most popular air... Wait, he is doing VATSIM. He is doing VATSIM, or he is retired? Because if he's doing VATSIM, I am genuinely surprised that his... yeah, especially if he's doing ATC on VATSIM. He announced that would be his retirement plan, was derping about and controlling him. Oh my god. I genuinely hope he starts controlling regularly, because Lights and Bests will suddenly just be the Kennedy Steve show. Especially if he streams it. He's only there for events like Cross the Pond. Ah, that's simultaneously awesome and a shame. But I mean, I guess he's used to busy airports, so a quiet Kennedy wouldn't do. He'd be bored. He'd just be like, where are the 73,000 planes that are usually here? Tips for the Gold Cup. Wait for the price to go up a bit more, and then sell it. It's a good tip for a gold cup. How's Dave today? I've been busy watching news all day. I've done nothing productive. I've just been watching news and watching as everything goes mental. Also, Mania is still at the moment on. To answer that question. Combine freaking loves Hells, good lord. It's going up and loves go. Oops, I've punched a hole in somebody's beehive with the sticky outy bit of the harvester. Has there been any... Yanis might be the one who knows, and I don't know if he's here. Any confirmation on the Formula 1 yet? I've heard many reports that it is off. They're killer bees, thanks Dave. No, worse than killer bees. Corona bees. They all had coronavirus. Everybody in the area is now dead. F1 in there? No, the Australian Grand Prix. Nothing official yet. Thank you, Yanis. The number of reports I've seen saying so, though, have basically confirmed the race is off. Just the FIA and Liberty are being idiots and not actually announcing it yet. I think Mercedes resigned. No, I mean, Corona bees, the most dangerous kind of bees. Next 2 weeks of racing is go without fans. I mean, that doesn't change much about NASCAR. Ooh. Yeah, McLaren pulled out because one of their team members actually tested positive. BBC have been saying that, Sky have been saying the opposite. So it's unless that's breaking. Is that breaking? No. Screams in coronatics. I know that there are going to be some people who are like, Dave, you shouldn't joke about coronavirus. I see myself as a comedian at times. I make jokes, deal with it. Some of them are off color. That's just how my mind works. I find things funny and I have to say them. California NASCAR race got cancelled. Both races at Sebring that were due to happen, I think this weekend, are off. Sebring 12 hours, which I was looking forward to. And now they're saying it's off too. Yeah, Sebring 12 hours is postponed until November, so I'm going to watch it then. It's one of my I like watching this races because Sebring is bumpy and it's usually a bit mental. The hell is in this field, by the way? Because like, oh, the world's most anemic soybeans. Except is this field 69? No, that's field 67. Oh god. Okay, it looks like we might be doing some potato harvesting next. If there's no humor, why live? Because I mean, boring people are alive too. Boring people are people too, Buster. They're not very fun people, but they're people. Also, I mean, comedy keeps people sane. FIA has said F1 is off. I'm expecting an announcement about Singapore being called, or not Singapore, Vietnam being called off on Sunday. That's when I heard that announcement's being made. Bahrain race is probably going to be cancelled now that somebody from the paddock has tested positive. They're not going to want to take any chances, and rightly so. So it's looking increasingly like the first race of the season might be the Netherlands. Quick fun little fact for anybody who follows Formula 1 and is following all the mayhem the coronavirus is causing. A Formula 1 or an FIA World Championship must have a minimum of 6 races for it to be official. That's the magic number, is 6. As it stands, Formula 1's down to 21, I think? Zandvoort, I would imagine Zandvoort will get called off, unfortunately. That's my opinion on coronavirus in Singapore. The authorities there are doing an amazing job of containing it. Like, Singapore... Here's the fun thing. And you could see this is political, I guess, but it's kind of a fact. The more I will get the word out eventually. The more authoritarian an area is, Singapore's pretty authoritarian, the better it is going to be at containing major viruses like that. Where does it say the F1 race is called off? I don't know, I'm being told this, Julian. There's many reports in the media, but I mean the media can be wrong about stuff, so I always take those reports with a pinch of salt. It would make sense. Why were there no planters in the Burgodio Sea? That is a really good question, Nicholas Yule, actually. Yeah. Now we get to find out, by the way, if this is really 150 horsepower, because that requires 150. Heave ho and away we go. F1 FIA did not confirm any of this. Yeah, a lot of FIA sources and F1 sources are allegedly saying it's off. You know, the weeder that's a harrow. Is that what I keep calling the mega weeder? Where it's like 50 meters wide. I love it. Medi, hello. I tried and failed. Multiple times there. Did I see Matt's Facebook? No, I did not. Here's a fun fact for you, Stephen. Take anything Matt says on Facebook as that. With about 7 truckloads of salt. Oh, good grief. She struggles. Okay, maybe this isn't 150 horsepower. Okay, I need to get something that is. And I have an idea. Is it in large? No, it is not. Medium. Yes. First need to remove the tops. He's done Matter Classic DLC for 19. Doubt. We'll find out if we need to remove the tops now. Haha. If we do, the meme-mobile will be going in reverse. Oh god, that interior is blindingly pink. Screw Minty, I've got Pinky. The brain. Right, let's see if this works. Yes! Kirovets cares not for your silly power. Okay, I will. The Kirovets is now the sun. Is that possible? This is a combined one. This does both at once, Julian. I knew that from the beginning. That's why I wasn't too bothered. Roughly the... Oh god, this is so bad. Mistakes are being made. Yay, 6. Things are quite big. I mean, Australia has quite big vehicles, doesn't it? You might want to check if they'll fit the map, Alex, just FYI. Just kind of as a maybe suggestion. Oh, that pink monstrosity is Kirovets. See you, Buster. You can panic now, Buster. It is now panic time as you are leaving. Sanity is now going bye-bye. I wonder if I can paint the Kirovets minty. Then again, that'd be stealing Jimmy Broadbent's meme. I'm kind of liking hot pink everything meme. It's not Comrade Kirovets. It is. I've just painted it myself. It's fine. Hey, Aaron Agri. Oh, I love the fact that the Kirovets just yeets the harvester when I turn it. I need to make a small turn. Yeet! Big Bud is not... might go on the server, but the DLC isn't. Server is DLC free. Because I don't want to put... what would in effect be a paywall on the server. It's always been the way that I've run it. If you start to pass, the Aaron Agri dude, just study at home, dude. The temptation will be to play many games, but study. Use your time wisely, you've now got a lot more of it. You can focus on stuff that you're bad at. You can also write up notes for like you can write up notes for science. Write up notes on definitions and stuff. I found doing that really, really helpful. Easily tempted. As do I, but I sit down and talk basically tell myself that if I do this work, I can play maybe a game on Saturday. Student D, I finished Fortnite. Good at science anyway, doing ag for leaving. Still actually really, really helpful if you write down definitions and stuff, because you will figure out very quickly that, oh, you really need... Actually, do like past questions, do past exams and stuff. But not just a thing you can do. I don't know how the junior sort works anymore. Gearbets can sing in real life. Yeah, it'd be nice. Difficult to do in farm sim though. That's not breaking. Rob, that came out 2 hours ago. I sent Landy a message when I found out, and he'd already seen it. Also, yeah, it's only politics if you're talking about their policies and whatnot. Otherwise, it's news. Proof, by the way, that New Zealand is actually imaginary because they have fake breaking news. Make cheat sheets so you know the answer in your own words. That's what I did. So useful. Like with definitions for science, there are keywords they look for. Keywords and phrases. You don't actually need to learn the definition off by heart. You need to learn the keywords and phrases and how they link together. You will get all of your definitions correct in science. Unfortunately, with exams, part of the thing that teaches you is how to do as well as possible while also doing as little work as possible. Which is, I guess, applicable to the real world, but I mean, you should really know more than just the bare minimum required. No, we're not putting the hand wheeler on the server. I know that it'd be funny memes, but no. Also, this looks way more legit when it's lifted up. Like, oh. It doesn't. Does it? Oh, it doesn't. So you can only harvest like this for some reason. NHL suspended? I did not know that. I knew about the NBA. Landy's gonna be annoyed. He'll have nothing to watch in the evening. Oh, Chad, we're swapping maps to Ozzy's map because I no longer trust Osina and the pile of mods that we had on there. And it's easier to... By the way, Alex and the rest of the NPMs, don't just load it up with mods like we did with the Polish map, because I think that was part of the problem. What is Landy up to? At the moment, probably working. He, yeah, he's working now. Full time, so that's why he's not been about on YouTube too much. And by the time the weekend rolls around, when he could stream, he's too tired and wants... I coughed, Corona, except if you follow the streams back to November, I've been coughing since then. I've always had a bit of a cough. I've actually been coughing since probably the middle of the year before last. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I gave you the password and stuff, Alex. Just remember to activate the mods. And make sure that you select the correct save and save stuff. Also, why is this now not... Why did it skip a bit? Am I admitting I'm patient zero? No, I've had a cough for ages. It's nothing for me to... Well, it's something for me to concern myself about, but it's not coronavirus related. It's just bad decisions I've made have caused the cough. Oh, it is full! It is full! It is full! Alright, come here, trailer. Where's the trailer? There's the trailer. Where's machinery? It's a chronic cough, yeah. But the thing is like, there are people who don't know me that will think that because I'm coughing, I do have coronavirus. No. And even if I did, I can't infect people from... I can't infect people from my bedroom. So, even if I did, you guys are all safe. Because I work from home anyway. I've been doing social isolation since before it was cool. And government mandated. It sucks for people who can't work from home. Like, my sister's still gonna have to go to work through this, and she works in a nursing home, so she's kind of having to be super duper careful. And part of the reason that I'm super concerned and doing a bit more isolation than usual is for the sake of the service users at the nursing home my sister works for. Because they're very, very, very susceptible. And if one of them gets it, they're all screwed. Basically. Can potato in thing? Now we learn. Potato cannot in thing. Potato where cell do. Potato cell do. Plaque picker. Over there. Okay. It's fine, Chad. Just. I know it was a joke. Just explaining for others. Thank you, Hayden. No, nope, Spider over there playing cringe music. Amazing.
Nope, Spider with airplane and cringe music.
Thank you very much for the $2. And some audio description for people who didn't know that it was a nope spider in an airplane. Though you forgot to mention the airplane does take off backwards, which is particularly impressive. Okay, so I'm going this way, to the right. Get out of the way, thank you. And then I'm going to go... Wait, is this where I sell the potato? Do I sell the potato here? Oh, I'm here to sell the potato. Do you accept the potato? You do not accept the potato. Excuse me, I need to get through with the potato. Get out of the way. You limit on characters. I think, do you not get 240 for that? Get out of the way. I need to get through with the potato. The potato is stuck. Get out of the way. Excuse me, I require to get through with the potato. Oh no. Have I actually got this properly stuck? My joke may be backfiring right now. Aha! Ye oldie disconnect and reconnect trick. It made things a lot worse. Oh, it's 50 for $2? Okay, I didn't know that. I don't usually buy super chats. Come on. Let me through the potato. I want to sell my potato. Oh god, this is properly stuck now. Ah. Wait, no! Yes! The potato is free. Free potato. Where do sell potato do? Potato sell do here? Yes. Any chance of the potato wrap? No, because I don't plan on doing potatoes all that much on this map. If I'm on a map where I want to do lots of potato, then I'll potato wrap. But the insanely impossible is possible. Potatoes away. I've sold my potato. Now I need to get back to the farm. Hang. Oh, for goodness sake. Remember that big long drive I did? You know, up and around and back. The field is there. This is the field, look. School closed, you're in third year. Dara, if you... I would advise that you... Oops. That you keep doing school things. Which might not be something you want to do while schools are closed. Keep learning, keep studying, and if you need or want any help... Aiden, school system here is weird. Different from America. Not third grade, third year. It's like 8th or 9th grade. 31 mods, alright. 33 was what we had on the last one. But Dara, if you want to keep studying and you need any help with anything, join my Discord. I've set up some rooms where you can ask questions and hopefully get the answers you want at some point from various people who are going to be volunteering to help and sparing whatever time they can to help people with school things, including me. Because for once, I'm being responsible. Everyone's slightly concerning, but it should be okay. Mute the channel. Yeah, I would advise other people do the same. Like, if you're not able to help with channels, just mute them. Alex, I know a bit of German, more than you probably do from Rammstein. Grenchen Firmen. Dara, those are going to be put on hold. That's my plan, Rob, is I'll be helping people in the science room for sure. And I have set up voice rooms if anybody needs like things explained through voice. For each of the text rooms has a voice room to go with it. So I am for once being legitimately responsible and doing something that is just plain a good idea. But there are those projects, like, I don't think they've even thought about that kind of stuff yet, but they will very likely be extended indefinitely. Yeah, they possibly give extra time. I'm doing the good because let's be fair though. Let's be fair. What do I keep saying? School is more important than YouTube. School is the single most important thing. Schools in Ireland are now closed, and in many other countries, and I probably should have done this a bit sooner, but Ireland, yeah, it's getting to the tipping point where there's going to be more people out of school who should be in there than in school that are missing for whatever reason. So I'm trying as much as I can to keep people learning as much as they can. outside of school, so they don't come back to school and be like, oh yeah, your exam's in 3 weeks, I hope you learned all the things. You know, we don't have any experts, we don't have any... As far as I'm aware, we don't have any teachers in the Discord, but we got people who know stuff, and that's the best we can, the best I can struggle together with zero notice. Cool bag, gear bag, and a huge liter bag of books today to bring home. That is the right way to do it there. I hope everybody in Ireland brought all their books. It is quite a good idea. I mean, it was the only one I could come up with that would be genuinely useful. As much as I derp about, there are times when I'm just like, okay, something serious needs to happen here. I'm gonna do it. Hey, sideways. That's a distinct possibility. It's all kind of up in the air. I mean, the only decision that has been made solidly is that schools are closed, because that's the decision that needs to be made now. Like, that was the immediate, this has to happen decision. Everything else is a decision that can be made in 2 weeks' time, or a month's time, or, you know, there's no urgency with the other decisions that are coming as an effect of this one. Effectively, the response has to be done short-term responses only. Which might sound dumb, but it's the effective way to do it. The best way is to look at the short term only, ignore the long term, and work on the long term once the short term is dealt with. Which is why Ireland basically did a public shutdown today. As of an hour ago, Ireland is effectively closed. That's what they're saying about Mania. That's the dumb thing to say. Am I going to get the Fed DLC for Stars? I've not played much Stars recently. I'll probably get Crusader Kings 3 when it comes out later this year, but... Stars I have not been playing much. Crusader Kings has been my jam lately. And obviously, like, Explain. But something that can change quickly, short term works best. Yes. Absolutely. Short term, everything should be cancelled. Even if, like, medium term things don't need to be cancelled, it's better to do it short term. Way better. I work from work. That's the official government line. My dad can work from home. I don't know if he will. I'll definitely be encouraging him to. I'll be having a chat with him later on tonight. One of the like, many things that have gone mental today. Because like his office, he works in an office up in Dublin. He tends to work out of his own office most of the time up there, but you know, a lot of the stuff is telecommuting to Denmark. Doing Skype calls with, like, Denmark. Which can definitely be done from home. I'm not gonna say what company in Denmark he works for, but he does telecommute to Denmark occasionally. I think someone at the Paradox office came down with the coronavirus. They had some sort of post about it on the Facebook page the other day. Do they not run their own convention? PDXCon? They can't get the virus? Denmark isn't shut down as well? Yep. He was saying that the Danish office is closed. And everybody's working from home there too. So it's... I'll put it this way. What's happening now with coronavirus and the scale of the infection, the amount of data available in the infection, has literally never happened before. Will flights be cancelled? That's the next step, I think. Or like greatly reduced. But what's happening now with coronavirus has never happened before in science history. I'm not going to say in human history because Spanish flu and past pandemics, including Black Death. But in science history, we've never had a virus or disease that in a pandemic that's been this well understood, this quickly, with this much data available. In human history. So we're in probably the best position we can be in terms of scientific knowledge. It's just that scientific knowledge on the virus itself is quite low still. But with technology we have scientifically, it's a reasonably good position. I think holidays will be banned. I mean, I think airports will close. Airports will close. Yeah. I can see more than just Italy going into national lockdown. And I can see other countries deciding on... I can see Ireland deciding on a national lockdown way before the point at which Italy did. In terms of official infection numbers and whatnot. Ireland's being super responsible, and politics aside, because politically, I'm not a fan of the current government, but the reaction they have and the decisions they're making are more or less on the best timeline. Small businesses are going to suffer. The government's going to have to do something about that. The government's going to have to do a lot of stuff that they don't normally have to do. There's going to be, there's going to be money spent that shouldn't, under normal circumstances, be spent. But this is not normal circumstances. This is. There's code being developed that can help understand the COVID virus code, and people can join the code breakdown. What do you mean the virus code? The genome's already fully mapped. Unless that means like functionalities of it, which I guess... If we can figure out functionalities. I mean, if we can... figure out... I know why they're looking at the code again. They're looking at the code, the genome, because they want to try and figure out vaccine. And the anti-vaxxers are going to have a field day with that one. But they want to figure out a vaccine. Wonder how many airlines won't survive with travel restrictions? A lot. Flybe were the first, there are going to be more. We got help with the hashtag help in isolation. What it was called. I don't know what you're talking about there. But I am going to go now because I want to get back to reading the news and following the news. I want to do a bit on a video that I've been working on. A cure will take a long time. Would it not be better to... Okay, I'll answer this question from Alex because that's a really good question. Would it not be better to get a cure out there rather than wait? It's pretty urgent. They have tried something similar in the past where they were working on a genetic disorder, and they tried doing basically some DNA editing of people with it. And it worked immediately. The DNA issues they had were gone. Then they all got cancer. Because it turned out that they weren't just, the issues that they had were gone, but there was a side effect that hadn't been predicted, and basically everybody involved got cancer and died of cancer. DNA is something very, very dangerous to play with, and you shouldn't be doing it, and that's what viruses do. and if you screw the virus in the wrong way, it can kill a lot more people. Like, if you get a cure or a vaccine wrong, it can actually make things way worse. So they're wanting to double check. There's actually ethical reasons and laws and stuff behind why vaccines take so long to develop. And the first people who get vaccines will be people who are perfectly healthy. Fit and healthy people. Because they'll be the ones where any side effects will be most obvious. And then they'll move on to slightly less healthy people, and then they'll start deploying. But they can't just immediately deploy. Now, getting the vaccine for it when it comes out? I am. I will be. I'll be wanting it. I don't care about needles. I care about good medical practice, and it's good medical practice to get vaccines for stuff that there's only one known strain. And by the way, there's a theory there were actually 2 strains of coronavirus originally, one of which only existed in China, but which was far more severe and fast acting, so it died out quickly. I think there'll be a big population decrease. There will be one. There will be a decrease in population. That is 100% guaranteed. And it's just a fact. It's just a fact of any disease that has a fatality rate. As things stand, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad, though. It'll be worse than flu, but not the worst ever. But that is definitely going to do it for today, guys. I'm going to leave it here. I'll be back tomorrow with Shamrock Valley and faffing about with the manure mod, because I want to play about that and test it out. Until then, stay safe. That's a fair argument out there. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.
Mm-hmm.